we have a potential MVP candidate, especially the last couple of years. And now some of these mainstream media guys, they starting to speak to it all ball.
Look at it differently. When you look at the MVP, I think the Thunder are good without SGA. I think they're great with him, but I still think they are a playoff team and like they're still good without him. You take a Jalen Brunson off the Knicks or a Cade Cunningham off the Pistons, they're not even close to the same team. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it depends how you were voting, how you're judging it. Now, I don't think he has a chance to win it just because these other guys are insane and they're going to win a lot of games. And I feel like it's Jokic or SGA's to lose. We haven't even mentioned Luka. So is he going to win MVP? No. Should he deserve to be in the conversation because the season he's having and the season the Knicks are having? 1,000%. But it's just not going to happen.
Very powerful words from a man we don't really like all ball.
Yeah.
About your guy, Jalen Brunson. What he should be in the conversation, especially this season. How you feeling about that, old ball?
So we all know Chandler Parsons says some of the craziest things ever, right? And I never agree with him. But with this, I agree. And you got to read between the lines what he's saying, right? This season, Jalen Brunson isn't having an MVP season. I agree with that with you, right? But I understand what he's saying. That's why I always say, what is the definition of an MVP? The year, it was 2 seasons ago, Joker won the MVP. In my opinion, and remember, Fabian, that whole season, I was adamant. Jalen Brunson should have won MVP that year. What he did with the Knicks. You trade your second best player, Julius Randle. You get these guys. Everybody's injured. At one time, the lineup was him, Deuce, Hartenstein, and DiVincenzo. Who was the bench?
Right. Where's the offense coming from?
Bro, right? Who was the bench? No Cat, no Bridges. This is none of this, right? And this is when he's putting up 40, 50 balls on niggas' tops. You get to the second round, game 7. And granted, that whole season you was injured. He went from averaging 28 in the regular season to 35 in the playoffs. So for me, all right, listen, you ain't got to like him. You ain't got to like his game. You ain't all that. But what is an MVP? So I agree with what Parsons is saying. A lot of these guys that everybody votes for season after season, it's y'all favorites. We're not saying they're not putting up great numbers, but they wasn't dealing with what Brunson had to deal with that season. Now, this season, listen, to me, he's struggling, even though he's still averaging 27 plus, right? But that season, Fabian, was insane. We ain't seen nothing like that. Yo, he was beating teams by himself. So for me, I totally agree with Parsons. It's like, yo, you know, if you, like he said, you take SGA, and we can't blame SGA for playing for a great organization and having a great front office that knows how to do their job. So it's no knock on SGA. But like he said with Cade and Brunson, like, yo, bro, if these guys are not on that team, and, you know, now OG's always injured, Deuce is always injured, Mikal inconsistent, Mitch can't play back-to-backs. How is that Knicks team going to look? Like, let's be realistic. If you take Cade over Detroit, so that's the true definition of an MVP. Oh, and by the way, they putting up numbers. And by the way, Detroit and Knicks is the 1 and the 2 seed. How are they not top 5 candidates? We get SGA and Joker. But how are we still talking Luka and Giannis? How? So I 100% agree with Chandler Parsons because I understand what he's saying. And it's like, yo, we're going to have to revisit that one day. Like, yo, what is an MVP? Is it just numbers? Because granted, we see with the All-Star game, it's all bullshit. How was some guys, listen, I love the shots. How was guys All-Stars and you won 10 games? To me, it's the same thing with the MVP. Like, come on, bro. So I agree with what he's saying, and I get what he's saying.
And throw Jalen Brown in the mix. Like, he's had an unbelievable season carrying his team. He's been flirting with the second seed in the East. And going to double down on your point, when SGA was in that scenario where the second and third best players get hurt, when Chet got hurt, Jalen Williams gets hurt. They went 26-1 without him. Some people think Jalen Williams is the second best player on OKC. And they still smoking everybody. So that has to matter. Like they have a bunch of dogs over there in OKC. Yes, they built them correctly and beyond correctly. This is I don't know if there's ever been a more perfect build-up for a team than OKC, especially after losing 3 MVPs in Harden, Durant, and Russell Westbrook. So I see Jamal Murray love, and he deserves a lot of love because Joker went down and he held the team down. But the fact that Jaylen Brown was not in the top 10 category last month is insane.
Crazy.
You know, Brunson, I understand because the season was up and down. This is not the season I think where I get the hype is not there because of our inconsistencies. Maybe if we kept things going after that NBA Cup, then I can see that conversation happening. But we lost a lot of momentum. A lot of momentum.
A lot. And he's looked very, he hasn't been looking as great as we know he can look, right? So yeah, but God, I'm sorry, but yeah, all that plays a factor. So this season, I agree with you.
Yeah, and that's really the bottom line. And of course, some people want to blame his co-stars. There's one familiar voice. He's back at it, old boy. He ain't letting up. Skip Bayless.
He's back in the algorithms.
Got some things to say about Jalen Brunson's running mate. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.